Hello, and welcome back to another Dofus Let's Play, Quest to 200. I had an issue with my recording I did yesterday. Apparently, I had not hooked my headphones up correctly to my PC, and no audio was recorded. I'm going to do the best that I can to use that material. So we picked up two quests, and they basically run you through all the dungeons up to a certain point. I don't know how far they go. I've never finished the quest line on my other characters, but they will tell you to go fight this dungeon, give you a key for it, and then when you come back and turn it in, they give you a big chunk of experience. I think they give you some commas, and then they'll send you on to the next dungeon. And there's two NPCs you want to talk to. One is Munchkin, which is in the Astrib Inn, but you find him at the entrance to the field dungeon at first. And the other one is kind of off in the corner of Astrib. So here we are at the entrance to the Sand Dungeon. Give you a quick reference where we're at on the map here. Here's Astrib. Captain Fatchark. Hi, I'm Fatchark, the famous captain. I'm sure you've already heard about me. Before becoming a shipless ship captain, I used to be a cook. Yes, a cook. I could prepare fish like no one else, using fish that were still alive. You heard me right. I said alive. I'd smash them against a rock while they were still alive, and then add some salt and magic herbs. The herbs were also alive as well. Anyone who ate my fishy dish was able to breathe underwater when they swam backwards. Why don't you believe me? I swear everything I've said is true. As I already explained, before becoming Alistair's cook, I used to sail the largest, most beautiful boat the ocean had ever seen. You know the one Nikos Monot has? Well, mine was 12 times bigger than his. You're speechless, aren't you? Unfortunately, it was too big for the harbor of Mkama. It didn't even fit. Can you even imagine that? It was so gigantic that I beached on this rocky inlet when I arrived on Moon Island. Yep, it was so big that it linked this rocky inlet to Moon Island. See, can I bring up the map? Moon Island is over here. So he's saying that his boat stretched from here, this is the harbor of Ankama, all the way over to here. That's Moon Island. Yeah, this guy's full of it. I think he's telling fish stories is what we're getting at here. I'm not joking, you know. You needed to see it with your own eyes to appreciate just how impressive it was. I took advantage of this situation and used my boat as a bridge. Tourists would pay me to get to Moon Island instead of using that stupid cannon. I became so rich as a result that I generously funded the construction of Pandala Bridge and the reconstruction of Bontus Great Wall just for fun. Later, my boat disappeared, sucked to the bottom of the Ozzy Sea by the giant Kralov from Moon Island. The Kralov swallowed me, but choked on my sponge items. It spit me out 2 months later. I was still alive, thankfully, because I'd lived off pre-digested fish in its stomach. You may not believe me, but I had a great time in there. I developed some great recipe ideas based on pre-digested fish fermented in oil bow grease. Ugh. All I need now is a few eager customers, and I'll be able to open a new franchise. Anyways, I digress. I then discovered a rather strange sandcastle on this rocky inlet. I ventured inside, like a courageous man looking for redemption, or maybe digestion. I don't remember clearly. I fought against the most repugnant sea creatures to have ever haunted the seabed. Creatures so ugly they would flinch when seeing their reflection on my shiny weapon. I finally got my sponge items back when I sliced up a monstrous sea sponge, the notorious SpongeBob himself. Well now, I'm sure you're wondering how I was able to make the giant Kralov from Moon Island choke on my sponge items if I didn't get them until after I had sliced up SpongeBob. That's excellent, kid. You're following what I'm saying at least. Well, let me tell you, it's quite simple. A long time ago, before I created the Zaps, I created a machine to travel through time. That's right, I built it when I beached on the famous Odomai Island. Wow, this guy's got quite a story. What? You haven't heard of Odomai Island? Well, I named it after Odomai, the famous alchemist who lives on the island and studies all the world's creatures there. I was stuck on the island for many years, and instead of relaxing while sipping cocoa juice cocktails on the beach, I decided to put my extraordinary talents as a creative handyman to use. Oh, I didn't tell you? Yes. I was also a creative handyman, and I invented a whole raft of different things, each one more useful than the last. Ah, I see you are touched by my moving stories. Now, where was I? Oh yes, I remember. So I was stuck on the island. Otomai's experiments on monsters weren't going particularly well. He'd try lobotomizing them or transplanting their brains, but was very rarely successful. Did you know, by the way, that the brain of an IOP can fit inside the skull of an arachne with room to spare? I digress again. Anyways, so, to help him carry out his noble task, his quest for knowledge, I built a machine to travel through time that would allow him to retry his experiments if they didn't turn out as he wanted them to. Wow, this guy is just full of all kinds of crazy stories. So I used the machine to do some time traveling, and I confronted SpongeBob and stole his bubbly stuff. That's the end of my little story. Did I ever tell you I was the first one to set foot on Moon Island? That was one small step for me, You've a funny look on your face. Oh, what's that? You want to get inside the sandy castle? You should have told me before. I used up way too much saliva because of you. If you've got a dungeon key, I'll let you in straight away. I'll tell you the rest of my stories after you're back and have eaten some fish from my restaurant. Wow. Here we go. Yes. All right, we are in the first room of the Sandy Castle, and let's get this going. Sweet. We unlocked the achievements for this. We beat all the monsters now in the sand area. These little clune things, they're only inside the dungeon. So to get this achievement, you do have to run the dungeon. Just so you know. Alright, there he is. There he is. That's Sponge Mob. He just happens to be square and has weird pants on. So it's not hard to figure out who they're trying to pay homage to here. Okay. Alright, let's look into our dungeon achievements here. See what the challenges are for this room. There we go. Sandy Castle. Beat him. Okay. Must not finish their turns on a cell next to an ally. Defeat SpongeBob and hopefully I stop reading that. Characters must not use the same action more than once each turn. So versatile is different than the one where it says you can't use the same move for the entire battle. This one just says you can't use the same move for each turn. I went over idle scores in the Incarnum dungeon, so I'm not going to touch on this here. So when you do want to put idols on, one thing you got to pay attention to is not just anybody can throw the idols on the group. This little crown right here next to the person shows that they're the group leader. Now anybody can be the group leader. Usually the group leader is going to be whoever started the party. Smoke in here is who I used to send the invites to these people, so they hopped in on my group. Now, if I wanted to, Smoke and Mirrors is considered group leader. If I wanted Old Graybeard to be the leader, you can click on him and appoint group leader. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because only the group leader can put on idols for the group. So if you're ever trying to put on your idols and it's giving you a hard time, just make sure you're on the right person. Another thing you got to make sure of, and I got so mad in the past, there's solo and then there's group. If you happen to be on your solo tab, now it should automatically pop up on the one that is relevant. So like I'm in a group, so it should pop up on group. But I have had it in the past. I put all my idols on here, had my nice big score, ran through this room, not this dungeon particularly, but I ran through the dungeon, and then I did not get the achievement. And I came back and I checked and I saw my score and I was like, what's going on? Well, I'd put the trophy or the idols on underneath the solo tab, and then when you clicked on group, it was empty. So, note to self, make sure you're on the right tab when you put your idols in. If you get done with a dungeon and you don't get your score, even though you know you had the total achievements, check this first. Make sure you didn't accidentally put them on over here instead of over here. So we need to stay away from each other, and we need to not use the same spell more than once per turn. Alright, so we will set up here, and explosion will go right there. One Old Graybeard on this side. See, this hole right here is going to make it a little difficult to run down. You got to go over and then down, or over and then down. So I want him here, so all he's got to do is run straight. Put Tank in the back here. I'm putting her over here because I'm planning on putting a bomb right there, and I'll probably put a bomb wall across here and see if I can just pull some targets over it, or maybe even use the Zeller. I can teleport over with the Zeller and then punch things and make them land on the wall. That's the plan. We'll see if it we'll see if it works out. Okay, not gonna do that. And these don't really. Oh, that's a Scanty. That's the one I was talking about, where you can't use the same action for the entire fight. These don't really apply to what we're trying to accomplish on this run, so I'm not going to worry about it. Put on movement points, get as far down here as I can, because I'd like Graybeard to be on the other side of the bomb wall if possible. And I can't reach anybody with that. If I can hit him with something. Boom! Oh, he threw a piece of himself at me. Interesting. Need to stay away from allies. I can't use the same move more than once. I'm going to throw this all the way down there. And then, see, he would be able to shoot this one. Would probably, okay, I think the harpoon can get all three of these, so I'm going to leave hit there. I was going to put my tack turret right here to push it down a little further, just so it has line of sight. But since it can already see all that stuff, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to toss this back here. I don't know if we're even going to need it, but... Yay! Look at that. You gotta love it when a plan comes together. Okay, let's go here. And this haziness, it reduces my AP this turn, but then it gives me an AP buff next turn in like an AoE. I know a lot of people use this, but I don't know. As of right now, I don't find myself using it a lot. I probably should. There's probably a reason so many people use it. Okay, put a bomb here, and then kick it. Get it right up in that corner. It's got a 74 shield on it now. Go ahead and run down this way. Now, one thing to keep in mind when it says stay away from allies, your summons count. So I can't stand next to this bomb now. I can't stand next to this turret. If you do, if you end your turn next to one of these, you'll lose the achievement. A lot of times you will spoil that achievement not because you forget and stand next to one of your teammates, it's because of a summon, and you're like, oh yeah, guess that's an ally. Well, I don't know, the harpooner's kind of questionable at times. Alright, let's go here. That keeps me away from the bomb. Go ahead and hit that. Alright, and now my plan is... see if this is gonna work. I'm going to do this to give her an extra MP. That should help a lot. Trying to get positioned where I want her. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Oh, she may not even get down there to a bomb wall before this is all over. Okay, that's not going to work quite as I had hoped. Let's see. Can I teleport? Can't teleport from here. Get up one. Will that put me on the other side? Okay, that at least puts me on the other side. It's down. Gosh. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I just ruined it. This thing counts as an ally. Okay. I don't know if that worked. We will try. Hopefully that worked, because technically I ended my turn over here, right? That's the first time I've ever used that spell, but it might have just saved that achievement. That's fantastic. Alright. Blast you. And I can't really get a bomb wall here because I got him standing right in front. And these things are just about dead, so I don't think it's going to be worth the effort of trying to get a bomb wall going. Alright, old Greybeard. What you got? Let's hit. Boom. Do that. I'm going to move by here so the rest of my team can get a line of sight on old SpongeBob. Oh, he just healed himself. Well, so much for that line of sight. Now, I do have an attack with the Foggernaut here that can hit around a corner, like that. And I can put this here. Attack turret does really good for pushback. And do I have my pushback damage buff on? I do, got it on at the moment, so that should help. I'll stay right there. I think that's the safest space for me at the moment. How much health? 132? Alright. Greybeard, I'm moving you out of the way, buddy. Let's go with... I'm gonna come here so that I don't move him to the other side of me. I want him to stay there. Can I reach? Nope. 2 spaces. Get in this. Boom. Alright, Greybeard. Here we go. Time to find out if we messed up the stay away from allies. I think it was called tight. Is that what it was called? The Hermit. I see 15. 415. No. I think I messed up the achievement for not ending next to an ally. See, I told you, it's a summon that'll mess you up. Oh! Must not use the same action more than once. So this is the one I messed up. So the Hermit one, that was the one where I had to stay away from allies? Oh, okay. Sweet! Well, it's nice to know that that move will save that. I bet if I went back and watched the video, I would see exactly where I messed this one up. Because... oh, well. Alright. So we finished that. Let's talk to this guy. So you've just beaten the terrible sponge mob. With a bit of luck, you'll think about me when you end up in the giant Kralob's stomach. You look pretty tense. Relax. The fight's over. The sun's shining and you're at the beach. What more could you ask for? My goodness me. You're as stiff as a dry eucalyptus stick. Let me show you how to relax. Before becoming captain, cook, handyman, inventor, singer, and cha-cha-cha dancer, I used to be a doctor. A doctor against my will, but still a doctor. I'll try to put your bones together again. Keep on concentrating. How weird. Your heart's on the left, and your liver's on the right. It's supposed to be the other way around. Ouch. Here you go. I put everything I could back in place. Now you should be able to lie down in a click without your bones cracking. You'll be able to enjoy sitting on the warm white sand and listening to all the true stories I have to tell. By the way, did I tell you that I once built imp carriers? And I was also the imp chief after being captured by the cannibals from Moon Island right before... Hey, come back. Why are you running away? Come back. I haven't finished my story yet. Nice that we can run away from that. Oh, I got some people chilling out here. Alright, let's accept those achievements that we got. Will anybody hit level 50? I think, maybe. Yes! Oh man, there's some cool stuff that starts happening at level 50. I'll show you. Alright, 49. You're getting there, tank. Don't worry. Slow and steady. Smoking's coming up the rear there, but you're getting there. Alright, an explosion. She hit 50. So we got two 50s. Alright. Before I go into the Royal Gobble Dungeon, I'll go over some of the new equipment pieces I got. But that will be the start of the next video. This one is probably fairly lengthy, especially since the captain had so much talking to do. Oh, and look, there's an Ark monster up here, Snapple the Wise. And because I just said I'm going to end this video, I'm not going to talk about Snapple the Wise yet. But we will talk about Ark monsters soon enough as well. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for coming by, and if you don't mind, hit that like button. Hit the notification button if you want to know right when my videos go up. I'm shooting for every 2 to 3 days to have a new episode. And if you got anybody that you know that's playing Dofus, looking for advice, feel free to share my video. Thanks for coming by. Have a great day.